The Truckers Association of South Africa is calling on government to intervene in disputes within the sector. The organisation, which represents truckers in different provinces across the country, has held a strategic meeting in Mpumalanga where its members raised concerns about being sidelined on business opportunities. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela is following that story from eMalahleni for us this morning. Mweli, that's one leg of the concerns that truckers are raising. Give us some details about some of the other issues. And, you know, it has to be said that these are long-standing issues.
Indeed, Michelle, this meeting, the strategic meeting by members of the Truckers Association of South Africa, come at the back of many events, unfortunate events that happened last year. We've seen many major routes in the country in different provinces, trucks blocking those roads, as well as some trucks being banned along those routes. But the main issue, Michelle, has been those small companies in the trucking industry calling for level ground in as far as business is concerned. They are complaining to say that they are being marginalized, priority being given to big business, and that's concerning for them, concerning the fact that, for example, here in Mpumalanga, there is a lot of mining companies as well as power stations, so they were hoping that they will be able to also benefit. But according to them, what they have seen in the past years is that the very same big companies are the ones that are getting businesses in those mines as well as the power stations. So that is why they've decided to come together to sort of come with ways calling on government to intervene in this particular situation. We know that last month they met with the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, where they were trying to also bring in, come up with those ideas that will help bring that ground to the same level. So that is why then they are saying that that particular meeting wasn't the first and the last. They are going to continue with those engagements. But let's hear, Michelle, from the president of the Truckers Association of South Africa, that's Mary Paddy, who was actually part of that meeting calling for transformation in the trucking industry.
This industry has got a lot of monopoly. A lot of people are using it because it's more of privately owned, and the Department of Transport seems not to be having in charge of the industry on its own. So we are here to look at those challenges. One of the challenges that we have is that the OEMs, meaning dealers, they give preference to the bigger companies that have been there for many years. And secondly is that the servicing of the vehicles as well, we don't get an opportunity to service our vehicles correctly at those dealerships. So the meeting here will be saying that everybody must have a license. We must be able to operate under a certain license. You cannot have a vehicle in the yard that you cannot use as a tool for you to be in business.
So, Mweli, that's what the organization is saying. What are its members saying?
Yes, indeed, Michelle. That meeting was attended by representatives from different provinces, including Limpopo and KwaZulu-Natal, among others. So, as I said, this meeting they had with the Minister of Transport, they said it's not the last meeting they are having. They're expecting another meeting on the 13th of this month with the Minister of Transport. But looking into other issues that have been coming up in the trucking industry, Michelle, we know that there's been concern about foreign truck drivers that are working here in South Africa. TASA coming out strongly there to say that truck driving is not a scarce skill. So that's an issue that the government has been invited to look into, as we know that in some provinces there's been situations where some of those foreign truck drivers have been attacked. So those are some of the issues that the members of TASA are hoping that they will be addressed as they meet on the 13th of January. But let's also hear from a representative of TASA from the Limpopo province, that is Kashi Mphahlele, who was also part of that meeting, raising concerns that there's a lot of activity on the country's borders, but those trucks that are crossing, for example, into Mozambique or Zimbabwe, most of them are not belonging to them as small businesses, so they are also calling for on that issue to be addressed, Michelle.
No, definitely they must change. You know, we cannot continue being stepchildren in this economy. We cannot continue being on the back burner of the freight industry in this country. So things will change, and this is where it starts. It starts somewhere.
Long-standing issues in the trucking industry. Mweli Masilela, thanks very much indeed for that update. And of course, those interactions will continue later in January, and we'll continue tracking that story for you as well.